Hold. All right.
Yeah, if you don't mind writing that same spot.
No, back where you were. Back where you were. Right there. And then look up for me. Okay, so Meech, you play a pivotal role in the show.
Yes.
You play your father, an essential character. The pressure had to be enormous, right?
Right.
Describe what it was like playing your father.
Oh, it was amazing playing my father. I mean, the pressure was enormous, but pressure bust pipes. You know, once I understood the foundation of acting and understood that before I fell into the role of my father, it helped it. It helped it. I felt like it made it easier, you know, because I had to know how to act before I could play the role of my father, because I already understood my father, but we lived two totally different lifestyles. So I just had to tap in, you know, into the 1980s of Detroit, into my father's mind frame, you know, and I felt like it came along easily because I talk to my dad every day, and I know him more than anybody, you know, and I know myself. So,
what did you learn about your father that you think most people may not know?
I learned how he was feeling because I felt like I was in his head, and my father was dealing with so much as far as his mom and dad, and the streets, and trying to take care of his family, and so much like going on at the time. So it's different because him being so young, he had to man up at an early age, and that's very rare for a 15, 16-year-old. So I learned a lot about him in his childhood that I had never known.
So obviously this story is based on your father's life, right? So let's talk about the character Meech in the series. What do you think is misunderstood? What do you think people will be misunderstood about your character?
I think people misunderstood, and still to this day, people misunderstand the reputation and the type of man that my dad is. You know, like he's really a family man, and he's really a loving man. That's why he wanted everybody around him to look good, just as good as him. He wanted everybody around him to win. You know, he never wished bad on anybody. It doesn't matter if you were the maid or anybody. He still treats you the same, with the same respect and the same love as his brother or his mom. So that's what people need to see, and I feel like that's what BMF will give them, because they will really understand how good of a person my dad was after seeing this.
So being a first-time actor, when did you really know? Like, I mean, obviously you're a confident young man, right? You know, you
right.
feel pretty confident in yourself.
Right.
But there's a point where even whether you're an athlete, you know, no matter what you do, you feel like, okay, I kind of got it, but now I really feel like I got it. Like, when did you feel like, without giving away any of the story, when did you feel like you really will be able to do this part?
I felt like once I got on set and I put the clothes on, not even a certain scene, once I put the clothes on, I felt it. It's like it's a different feeling that I can't even explain. I felt my dad. Like, I looked in the mirror with the 1980s clothing I had on that he used to wear, and especially when we went to Detroit and I got to walk the same steps he got to walk. But just being in the same clothing and saying the lines and just, you know, being in different scenes, it made it so real and authentic for me. And it's so close to home that I had to make it perfect, damn near close to perfect.